Imagination is more important than knowledge. Knowledge is limited. Imagination encircles the world. Life is like riding a bicycle. To keep your balance, you must keep moving. Try not to become a man of success, but rather try to become a man of value. The important thing is not to stop questioning. Curiosity has its own reason for existing. In the middle of every difficulty lies opportunity. A person who never made a mistake never tried anything new. Weakness of attitude becomes weakness of character. Great spirits have always encountered violent opposition from mediocre minds. Strive not to be a success, but rather to be of value. The only source of knowledge is experience. Logic will get you from A to B. Imagination will take you everywhere. Peace cannot be kept by force, it can only be achieved by understanding. The world is a dangerous place to live, not because of the people who are evil, but because of the people who don't do anything about it. Education is not the learning of facts, but the training of the mind to think. Anyone who has never made a mistake has never tried anything new. Science without religion is lame, religion without science is blind. Once you stop learning, you start dying. A clever person solves a problem. A wise person avoids it. Not everything that can be counted counts, and not everything that counts can be counted. We cannot solve our problems with the same thinking we used when we created them. Look deep into nature, and then you will understand everything better. Small is the number of them that see with their own eyes and feel with their own hearts. The measure of intelligence is the ability to change. Reality is merely an illusion, albeit a very persistent one. If you can't explain it simply, you don't understand it well enough. The difference between genius and stupidity is that genius has its limits. Information is not knowledge. The only source of knowledge is experience. The true sign of intelligence is not knowledge but imagination. A happy man is too satisfied with the present to dwell too much on the future. Blind belief in authority is the greatest enemy of truth. The value of a man should be seen in what he gives and not in what he is able to receive. The only thing more dangerous than ignorance is arrogance. Learn from yesterday, live for today, hope for tomorrow. The important thing is not to stop questioning. Genius is 1% talent and 99% hard work. The only thing that interferes with my learning is my education. It is not that I'm so smart, but I stay with the questions much longer. The search for truth is more precious than its possession. Out of clutter, find simplicity. From discord, find harmony. In the middle of difficulty lies opportunity. The mind that opens to a new idea never returns to its original size. I never think of the future, it comes soon enough. If you want to live a happy life, tie it to a goal, not to people or things. Nothing happens until something moves. If people are good only because they fear punishment, and hope for reward, then we are a sorry lot indeed. Common sense is the collection of prejudices acquired by age 18. The monotony and solitude of a quiet life stimulates the creative mind. Imagination is everything. It is the preview of life's coming attractions. Few are those who see with their own eyes and feel with their own hearts. You never fail until you stop trying. Creativity is intelligence having fun. A table, a chair, a bowl of fruit and a violin, what else does a man need to be happy? Anger dwells only in the bosom of fools. Gravitation is not responsible for people falling in love. Coincidence is God's way of remaining anonymous. Intellectual growth should commence at birth and cease only at death. Wisdom is not a product of schooling, but of the lifelong attempt to acquire it. The most beautiful experience we can have is the mysterious. A ship is always safe at shore, but that is not what it's built for. If at first the idea is not absurd, then there is no hope for it. A calm and modest life brings more happiness than the pursuit of success combined with constant restlessness. Nationalism is an infantile disease. It is the measles of mankind. Few people are capable of expressing with equanimity opinions which differ from the prejudices of their social environment. The only reason for time is so that everything doesn't happen at once. A question that sometimes drives me hazy: am I or are the others crazy? Falling in love is not at all the most stupid thing that people do, but gravitation cannot be held responsible for it. Try not to become a man of success, but rather try to become a man of value. There are two ways to live. You can live as if nothing is a miracle. You can live as if everything is a miracle. The most incomprehensible thing about the world is that it is comprehensible. Intellectuals solve problems, geniuses prevent them. The ideals which have always shone before me and filled me with joy are goodness, beauty, and truth. Logic may get you from A to Z, but imagination will get you everywhere. Education is what remains after one has forgotten what one has learned in school. Time is an illusion. I speak to everyone in the same way, whether he is the garbage man or the president of the university. A person starts to live when he can live outside himself. No problem can be solved from the same level of consciousness that created it. Stay away from negative people. They have a problem for every solution. Only those who attempt the absurd can achieve the impossible. Force always attracts men of low morality. The pursuit of truth and beauty is a sphere of activity in which we are permitted to remain children all our lives. The tragedy of life is what dies inside a man while he lives. Don't listen to the person who has the answers, listen to the person who has the questions. You can't blame gravity for falling in love. Peace cannot be kept by force, it can only be achieved by understanding. Play is the highest form of research. The only thing worth knowing is that which cannot be taught. The difference between the past, present and future is only a stubbornly persistent illusion. Sometimes one pays most for the things one gets for nothing. A human being is part of a whole called by us universe, a part limited in time and space. He experiences himself, his thoughts and feelings is something separated from the rest, a kind of optical delusion of his consciousness. The high destiny of the individual is to serve rather than to rule. Everything should be made as simple as possible, but not simpler. The world as we have created it is a process of our thinking. It cannot be changed without changing our thinking. If you want different results, do not do the same things. The value of a college education is not the learning of many facts but the training of the mind to think. Creativity is contagious, pass it on. The true sign of intelligence is not knowledge but imagination. Energy cannot be created or destroyed, it can only be changed from one form to another. In theory and practice are the same. In practice, they are not. Few are those who see with their own eyes and feel with their own hearts. Try not to teach a child anything, for he will learn best by discovery. Intuition is nothing but the outcome of earlier intellectual experience. Look deep into nature, and you will understand everything better. The hardest thing in the world to understand is the income tax. Love is a better master than duty. Morality is of the highest importance, but for us, not for God. The more I study science, the more I believe in God. The only sure way to avoid making mistakes is to have no new ideas. If the facts don't fit the theory, change the facts. Unthinking respect for authority is the greatest enemy of truth. Our task must be to free ourselves from the prison by widening our circle of compassion to embrace all living creatures and the whole of nature in its beauty. Information is not knowledge. Insanity is doing the same thing over and over again and expecting different results. God does not play dice with the universe. We act as though comfort and luxury were the chief requirements of life, when all that we need to make us happy is something to be enthusiastic about. The man who reads too much and uses his own brain too little falls into lazy habits of thinking. Joy in looking and comprehending is nature's most beautiful gift. Every kind of peaceful cooperation among men is primarily based on mutual trust. I never teach my pupils. I only attempt to provide the conditions in which they can learn. Love brings much happiness, much more so than pining for someone brings pain.